Hi guys, I was reviewing week 4. I'm a little behind on this, so I apologize for that, but I was going over the week 4 presentations and we need to talk. So I wanted to stop. I'm not even done doing the week 4, but we just needed to chat a minute. So let's talk about this. So the week 4 presentation was about Graham Allison's article, this seminal piece that we had. And Graham Allison posed a question to us. Public and private, are they fundamentally alike in all unimportant respects? So that's the question. Not, hey, they're similar and they're different, but are they alike in the unimportant respects? So yeah, we do a lot of the things the same, but in these certain ways is where we're different. So he was building on Wallace Sayre's article. So now at a master's level, 1, be sure you're reading the article. Okay, so make sure you have read Graham Allison 3 times. Okay, because this is a really important piece. I mean, for any of ours. In that, you'll see in the very beginning, he's mentioning Wallace Sayre. Intellectual curiosity. At a master's level, we have all kinds of questions. Here's an idea. Go grab Wallace Sayre's original article and see if you can build on that. And inside Graham Allison's article, he's setting it up. So in the very beginning, he's saying, all right, in section 1, I'm talking about what is public management. So he's trying to get a lay of the land there. How are they alike? He covers that in section 2, which is quite short. Section 3, how do they differ? But in there's a lot of information. In section 4, he tries to begin operationalizing, meaning something he could measure between the similarities and the differences, and then he begins to outline a research agenda. Anytime you see for further research or a research agenda, that's your key as a master's student to say, I am taking the ball as the next generation researchers, and I am going to pursue that agenda. So in that, I'm sure, noticed he was talking about John Dunlap's comparison of government and private. Who's John Dunlap? And maybe you need to go look at his and get inside of each component of this article. He talked about Richard, I don't know how to pronounce Neustadt's differences between the U.S. president and the CEO. Well, we know that the president is head of the executive branch. He is the CEO of the country. He doesn't have power to create laws or interpret laws. All he does is implement, just like a CEO implements what the board wants him or her to do. Well, what are these differences between the president of the United States and a CEO? Interesting question, isn't it? What about riddle? So as you're going through this, your presentation should have been jam-packed with theory after theory after theory. I love your opinions, and you guys are so intuitive and so smart about all of this, but the role of you as a master's student is to take theory and work with it, moving theory to practice. You'll always hear us say, move theory to practice. So in your presentations, I should have seen Graham Allison at the very minimum. I probably should have seen maybe a kind of a nudge to Wallace Sayre in there. And then you could say, well, according to John Dunlap, blah, blah, blah. According to Richard, the guy I can't pronounce his last name, Neustadt, blah, blah, blah. And here's an idea. What about the other authors we've been reading? Riddle and Weber, that concept of wicked problems. Does that play into this? Well, Riddle and Weber would say this about whatever. What about Appleby, or Appleby? I don't know how he pronounces it actually. Well, what did he say? What about Waldo? What does he say if he was weighing in on this? Selznick, what about Selznick? Oops, sorry, cut off there. Anyway, as you're going through this, please remember the game, if we call it, is theory to practice, theory to practice. So when you're evaluating these articles or talking about this kind of information, I need you to always have somebody, a theorist, standing behind you. I need you to build on theory, then use the practical application. I think Stephen, is the one who used SpaceX and NASA. great way to set this up. Great way. I mean, a lot of you were doing similar things. It was good. But that's good. Start there. But can you pull in our Wilson Taylor Weber? Do they have anything to do with this? Do any of the other readings have anything to do with it? And when you have an article like a Graham Allison article, what did Graham Allison say? What are all those things he enumerated in there? All of that should be filling up your presentation. All of that should be the basis of what you guys are talking about. So hopefully this is helping. I'm going to get caught up on the grading by tomorrow, on Wednesday. And then just let me know if you need a Zoom session this week or how I can help. Hopefully this is making sense. You guys are absolutely on the right track. We just need to make sure we are inside that literature and you're not scanning articles, not at this level, that you are reading Graham Allison. You are putting it aside. You're reading it again. Putting it aside, you're reading it again, looking up other people that he is referencing, and then you're starting to compile it and ask questions. That's the depth. That's what separates us from an undergrad who's like reading an article and answering a question. We don't want that surface. We need the depth of theory in what you guys are doing, and you guys are absolutely on the right path. So I just wanted to get this kind of, you guys are doing so good. I just want to start fine-tuning this role, your role now, your responsibility as a master's student. All right, so grades should be updated by tomorrow. Let me know if you need anything and if you guys want to organize a Zoom session. Also, the Zoom room is always open. So if you want to meet 2 or 3 of you and say, what is she talking about? With me not there. Or you could do it with me there. That would even be fine too. But if you guys want to compare notes on papers, if you want to compare notes on how, she's talking about this and she's talking about that, in an ideal world, master's students are always working together. I don't want to require that of you, but I do want to strongly encourage that just send it. You can send an email through the course room. Just email each other, set up a time and say, hey, I'm going to go in the Zoom room Wednesday night. Can anyone else show up? And just kind of toss around some ideas. How are you approaching this presentation? How are you attacking this problem? In traditional classroom settings, there's very little of the, at a master's level, there's very little of the professor talking. It's really you guys talking and figuring this stuff out on your own. And so, we're trying to find ways in this online kind of virtual environment to still get you guys doing that. So please, please try to connect with each other. If you want a Zoom session with me, please just give me some dates and times that you guys are free. And really, try to get some support as you're going through this. You don't have to do this alone, and just keep challenging yourself and digging deeper, deeper, deeper. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Have a very blessed week and enjoy the Olympics this week.